It's up YouTube, Chase Briscoe, the Horny Homemaker here. I am doing a million things right now. You'll have to excuse me. I'm all over the place. I'm in the middle of making homemade soap. I'm gonna be doing a live stream later on. As soon as I finish, I guess, getting my mail, cleaning my bathtub, and that water run, and clean that. And then I'm going to be probably doing a little laundry with some makeshift laundry detergent. But that has nothing to do with why I'm doing this video. So this video is letting people know I have a Facebook page, and I'm going to put this video in my Facebook page. It's my first step to my campaign to be the first deceased person on Saturday Night Live. As you already know, on peoplefinders.com, if you look me up, it says I am deceased. Chase Bristow, Linfield, Maryland. Check me out. It's valid, it's there, it's online. But yet, here we are talking. You don't need a Ouija board, darling. You got me right here. That being said, I see that there has been a lot of countless celebrities over the years hosting Saturday Night Live, and there's really never been a dead guy hosting. Now, has there? Once you typically once you're dead, you lose your heartbeat, you lose your pulse, you lose your ability to be above ground. So here I am, living my best afterlife. And I want to bring that persona right to the stage of Saturday Night Live. That's why I'm going to do this video here, do this Facebook group, and make a whole group, kind of like a spin-off of this channel, if you will, where I'm going to upload the videos specifically for my Saturday Night Live thing to there. Dead people don't smoke unless they're in a cremation chamber, but here I am, vaping. Haha, defying the natural law. It's like Isabella Rossellini said in Death Becomes Her. Oh, screw the natural law. But, yeah, I'm going to get my mail because there might be a little bit of something else to add to this, or maybe, no, I'm not, I'm going to keep, Spectrum out of this. Although I would love to go on Saturday Night Live. And you know what? I will say this, though. I am going to include a little, anecdote about Spectrum. If my mail USPS email thing was right, because I promised myself, after seeing somebody get something in the mail on YouTube, that they decided every time they get something in the mail or a notification from them, they're going to do a shit post up on their company, and that's what the hell I'm planning on doing. But when I go to host Saturday Night Live, I'm definitely going to be wearing a shirt that says Spectrum sucks right on my monologue, or find some subtle way to incorporate that. Maybe I'll see if they can do a sketch on it. You know what? That's what I'll do. If all this pans out like I'm thinking, yeah, I'm gonna be doing a sketch somehow relating to how Spectrum sucks. Now let's get the mail and see because I'm not going to do a total shit post yet. I am going to tell about my experience and everything on the way down, so that you guys know why I'm doing these shit posts. The shower, the bathtub should be clean. Let's turn that off before we go. And the boiling water is a raging boil. Perfect. Pour that over the soap. And let that melt. Turn that off. And now we're going to go get the mail. And I can tell you a little bit about Spectrum while we're going to get the mail. And the hell is this? Yeah. Anyway. So I once upon a time had Spectrum. And we're gonna go this way. Once upon a time I had Spectrum before I had AT&T for a while, and then I switched to Spectrum because I really was desperate to watch TV. There was a guy going door to door trying to sell Spectrum service. So I pulled him into my apartment and he got me hooked up. Well, not even 2 days later, my TV started buffering. And I never go down this stairway, but I just don't want to be around people right now while I'm doing my YouTube video. So my TV started buffering, and I could not watch anything on TV without a buffer. So when I had that happen, I had to call a technician, and I had to wait like up to 2 days for those for the technician to come out. And every time the technician would come out, I would have to move all my animatronics again. Okay, we're gonna do this shit test then. So I had to move around my animatronics and have somebody come in there with their shoes on, and I don't like people walking around traipsing in that room with their shoes on around my animatronics. I don't want people their feet getting all over them, because some of them have long gowns and dresses, and a lot of times if you're not careful, you'll be stepping on that shit. So I had to call there. I had to get somebody in there in that room, move my animatronics. They're not supposed to be moved around, mind you. They're not toys, they're not furniture, they are animatronics. They're their own thing. When you set them up, you're not supposed to move them around, place them in different places. You set them up, they stay there. Unless they're going to storage. I mean, how many times have you gone to Chuck E. Cheese and seen him move to another place? So, after I would have some guy here for like an entire day, I'd have to be off work or drop everything that I was doing, and then I'd have to make sure that anything that was in that corner was moved out of the way. Make sure stuff like that, Maleficent. See, people who aren't careful are going to step on that, and those people are not worried about that right there. They're worried about getting in and figuring out what's wrong with that shit. But, yeah. So, my TV was buffering like constantly. 4 days after I got the TV issue fixed, I would be lulled into a false sense of security by the fucking thing, because for 4 days it didn't buffer. I was happy. I was all set to enjoy some good food, snacking, and so one time I even went out to the store, got myself a whole bunch of stuff, made myself a homemade meal from scratch just to enjoy a TV show, and guess what I enjoyed? Buffering. So then Spectrum had to come out, and this was an ongoing thing for like 3 months. 3 months I had to keep calling them, had to keep coming out, and they'd spend like 3 to 4 hours here that I had to drop everything and worry about moving shit that is not supposed to be moved around, animatronics. Then I'd have to worry about them stepping all over them, which I've seen happen. And then they have the audacity to send me a bill. No, I am not paying for somebody to come out and fix a little buffering wheel every 4 days and take time out of my schedule and my life to sit here and make sure you can get in and play with the wires, because that's all the fuck you do. Nah, I'm not, So, they kept trying to send me a bill, and, I'll read that later. They tried to send me a bill, and, well, I won't pay it. I kept telling them, when you get those wires fixed, and when I don't have to make a phone call to a technician every 4 days, then I'll pay for service. But you're not giving me service right now. You're giving me a headache. You're giving me a waste of time. You're giving me people just coming over here all the time, getting in that room and playing with that shit. No, I am not paying for a headache and a pain in the ass. I'll pay for the shit to remedy those things, though. Be glad to pay for some Tylenol, but not the headache. So, that's why. And then, look at this. They have the audacity to send me this fucking shit. Switch to fiber-powered internet and save $360 a year. Don't do it, guys. Don't fucking do it. Unless you enjoy a good challenge and a mental breakdown. This is the bane of my existence. Right here at Spectrum. The bane of my existence. I mean, there's a lot of people that said it's a nightmare. So, every time, and I'm gonna make sure to copy and paste the link to this video into a review for the Spectrum store, so that they know what I'm talking business. Every fucking time I get one of these motherfuckers in the mailbox, every time I get an email, I'm going to go on YouTube and make a video telling about my Spectrum experience, and I don't think that will be good for your business, Spectrum. So why don't you stop sending me this shit, this dumpster filler, because I do not want it. And I'm telling you, I'm saving it, though, because when I have the money and when I have the means to, I'm going to take that and duct tape it to one of your store windows. Because you keep sending me that shit. So I'm going to make sure that one of your employees is sitting there scraping it off the window, because I'm going to adhese it. So they know not to send that. So, yeah, that is just, it was a nightmare. And I finally got AT&T after about, I don't know, I quit dealing with Spectrum, and I called AT&T, and I have never had a problem with them. The only thing that got me off of AT&T the first time was the fact that I lost my information to my account, because I couldn't get into the one account the one email address that was associated with the account, because my phone wouldn't let me when I got a new one. That said to use your old device. Well, the old device is shattered and broken, and how can you use that to access something? And if I got a new device, I shouldn't need an old one to activate a new one. The new one should be able to activate by itself with passwords. But now Google is doing something where they're saying, please enter your password, and then they're going to say, please go to your old device. Well, why do you ask for the password? Why do you want me to enter my password if you're not going to give a damn whether I remember it or not? You're just going to tell me to go to an old device. Stop asking for the password then. It's obviously not satisfying you. I mean, if you just enter it, boom, you're in your email account. No, that's not enough. So stop asking for the password. Stop asking people to create a password if you're not going to be satisfied with them putting their password in. Just put a message out there saying, please pray that you have your old device or you're screwed. and get rid of that enter your password shit. Because that's why I had to go to Spectrum. But then there was the whole AT&T. I called AT&T and I told them I was interested in getting service and all. Acted like a brand new customer. And that's what, if you lose your AT&T information, your account information with AT&T, I'm going to give you this as a little life hack. Call them up and pretend to be a new customer. They'll treat you like a brand new customer and give you a whole new setup. And then you're good. But yeah, so that being said, I like to sing, I like to dance. I've been on the Howard Stern show. I've been in the New York Times. Obviously, I've got YouTube channel, Facebook, whole 9 yards. I want to be the first dead person to host Saturday Night Live, though. And now I will be breathing. I will have a pulse, but according to People Finders, I'm dead, and there is something so beautiful about that. I look at that as a gift, a blessing, something delightful. And do you know why? I'm gonna tell you why. Because I am given an option for a label. You know how gay, trans, he, she, they, them. Well, I am given an option for a label to be labeled as deceased. Why do I take that as my label? One, People Finders gave me the option. Two, if I look at all the other people living around me, all the gay guys got a boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, whatever. I've never been asked on a date. I will see somebody else who has a great family life. I don't have a family. I was estranged from them, thrown out because I'm gay. You look over there, somebody's playing a scratch off. They win $1,000. Yay, wee! I am too broke to get myself a nice manicure, pedicure. But then I look at the dead people out there. They're sitting there in urns. They're sitting there in caskets. They're somewhere in a museum. Not doing much with their afterlife. But here I am, doing better than any of them. That's why I chose that as my label. Because I'm doing better than any other dead person I know. And that's why I'm not labeled as living. I am labeled as deceased. Because People Finder says so, and why should I argue with being the best dead guy there is? It's a blessing. I'm doing better than anyone around me in my label. So, get me up on Saturday Night Live so I can discuss this shit with the most comedic satire parody version of it there could be. I'm anxious to see how this pans out. I really am. I got some cleaning to do. I got some live streaming to do, so I'll be going back to your live streaming. Sorry for the lengthy video, but I love you guys, and I will see you on my live stream in about a half hour. I'm going to let this upload and people marinate this first.